There's a special quality that stands out, one quality that all great leaders have in common. It is the quality of vision. Leaders have vision. Leaders have vision. Non-leaders do not. What is it then that leaders think about most of the time? We call this leadership quality future orientation. Leaders think about the future and what they want to accomplish and where they want to arrive sometime down the road. Leaders think about what they want and what can be done to achieve it. The good news is that when you begin to think about your future as well, you begin to think like a leader, and you will soon get the same results that leaders get. Just think. The further you think into the future, the better decisions you will make in the present to assure that that future becomes a reality. For example, if you save $100 per month from the age of 20 to the age of 65, and you invest that money in a mutual fund, earning an average of 10% per annum, over time, you would be worth more than $1,118,000 when you retire. In personal strategic planning, you should begin with a long-term view of your life as well. In the process of idealization, you create a 5-year fantasy for yourself and begin thinking about what your life would look like in 5 years if it were perfect in every respect. The biggest single obstacle to setting goals is self-limiting beliefs. You may believe yourself to be inadequate or inferior in areas such as intelligence, ability, talent, creativity, personality, or something else. You set either no goals or low goals that are far below what you are truly capable of accomplishing. By combining idealization and future orientation, you cancel or neutralize this process of self-limitation. You imagine for the moment that you have no limitations at all. You imagine that you have all the time, all the talents, all the abilities that you could ever require to achieve any goal you could set for yourself. No matter where you are in life, men and women who had achieved only average results at work for many years, but who suddenly exploded into great success and accomplishment. Every one of them began engaging in what he called blue sky thinking. In blue sky thinking, you imagine that all things are possible for you, like looking up into a clear blue sky with no limits. You project forward several years and imagine that your life were perfect in every respect sometime in the future. You then look back to where you are today and ask yourself this question: what would have to have happened for me to have created my perfect future? You then come back to where you are in the present in your own mind, and you ask, what would have to happen from this point forward for me to achieve all my goals? Sometime in the future, when you practice idealization and future orientation, you don't settle for smaller goals or half successes. Instead, you dream big dreams and project yourself forward mentally as though you are one of the most powerful people in the universe.
You decide what you really want before you come back to the present moment and deal with what is possible for you within your current situation.
Imagine that your work life was perfect 5 years from now. Answer these questions. 1, what would it look like? 2, what would you be doing? 3, where would you be doing it? 4, if your work life was perfect, who would you be working with? What level of responsibility would you have? 5, what kinds of skills and abilities would you have? 6, what kind of goals would you be accomplishing? 7, if your work life was perfect, what level of status or position would you have in your field? When you answer these questions, imagine that you have no limits. Imagine that everything is possible for you. Now, idealize your perfect financial life sometime in the future. Ask these questions. 1, how much do you want to be earning 5 years from today? 2, what sort of lifestyle do you want to have? What kind of home do you want to live in? 3, what kind of car do you want to drive if your financial life was perfect? 4, what kind of material luxuries do you want to provide for yourself and your family? 5, how much do you want to have in the bank 5 years from now? 6, how much do you want to be saving and investing each month and each year, both in solid amounts and percentages? 7, how much do you want to be worth when you retire? Imagine that you have a magic slate. You can write down anything you want, and you can erase anything that may have happened in the past and create whatever picture you desire. Now imagine your perfect family life. Look at your family and relationships today and project 5 years into the future. 1, if your family life were perfect 5 years from now, what would it look like? 2, Who would you be with, and who would you no longer be with or have in your life? 3. If your family life were perfect, where and how would you be living? 4. What kind of living standards would you have, or what lifestyle would you be enjoying? 5. What kind of relationships would you have with the most important people in your life 5 years from now if everything were perfect in every respect? When you fantasize and imagine your perfect future, the only question you ask is how. Unsuccessful people always wonder whether or not a particular goal is possible. High achievers, on the other hand, only ask the question, how? They then set to work to find ways to make their visions and goals into realities. Review your levels of health and fitness in every area as well. Project ahead 5 years and ask yourself these questions. 1. If you were a perfect physical specimen 5 years from now, how would you look, feel, and appear? 2. What would be your ideal weight? 3. How much would you be exercising each week and each day? 4. What would be your overall level of health and fitness? 5. What changes would you have to make starting today in your diet, exercise routines, and health habits to enjoy superb physical health sometime in the future? Then imagine that you are an important and influential person, a player in your community. If your social and community status and involvement were ideal, ask yourself these questions. 1. What would you be doing? 2. What organizations would you be working with or contributing to? 3. What are the causes that you strongly believe in and support, and how could you become more involved in those areas? The primary difference between high achievers and low achievers in all of these areas is action orientation. Men and women who accomplish tremendous things in life are intensely action oriented. They are moving all the time. They are always busy. If they have an idea, they take action on it immediately. On the other hand, low achievers and non-achievers are full of good intentions, but they always have an excuse for not taking action. Today, it's well said that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Examine yourself in terms of your personal inventory of skills, knowledge, talent, education, and ability. If you were developed to the highest level possible for you, and there's virtually no limit to which you can become developed, answer these questions. 1. What additional knowledge and skills would you have acquired 5 years from now if your life was ideal in every respect? 2. In what areas would you recognize as absolutely excellent in what you do? 3. What would you be doing each day to develop the knowledge and skills you need to be one of the top performers in your field sometime in the future? Once you've answered these questions, the only question you ask now is how. How do you attain the skills and expertise you will require to lead your field in the years ahead? Especially decide how you would like to live day in and day out, your ideal lifestyle. Design your perfect calendar from January 1st to December 31st. Here are some questions for you. 1. What would you like to do on your weekends and vacations if you could do anything at all? 2. How much time would you like to take off each week, each month, and each year? 3. Where would you like to go if you could go anywhere? Cost was no object. 4. How would you organize your life if you had no limitations and complete control over your time? When you have clear, exciting goals and ideals, you will feel happier about yourself and your world. You'll be more positive and optimistic, more cheerful and enthusiastic. You will feel internally motivated to get up and get going every morning because every step you're taking will be moving you in the direction of something that's important to you. The future is going to be better than anything that may have happened in your past, and there are no limits. The clearer you can be about your long-term future, the more rapidly you will attract people and circumstances into your life to help make that future a reality. The greater clarity you have about who you are and what you want, the more you will achieve, and the faster you will achieve it in every area of your life. Now, here are 3 things you can do immediately to put these ideas into action. 1. Imagine that there is a solution to every problem, a way to overcome every limitation, and no limit on your achieving every goal you can set for yourself. What would you do differently if these facts were the case? 2. Practice back from the future thinking. Project forward 5 years and look back to the present. What would have to have happened for your world to be ideal in every respect? 3. Imagine your financial life were perfect in every way. How much would you be earning? How much would you be worth? What steps could you take starting today to make these financial goals a reality? One of the most important characteristics of leaders and top people in every area of life is that they know who they are, what they believe in, and what they stand for. Men and women who become leaders with the same or even fewer abilities and opportunities go on to accomplish great things in whatever they attempt. Your values are what make you the person you are. The greater clarity you have regarding your values on the inside, the more precise and effective will be your actions on the outside. Your beliefs determine your beliefs about yourself and the world around you. If you have positive values, you will believe yourself to be a good person. If you believe yourself to be a good person, you'll expect good things to happen to you. If you expect good things to happen to you, you will be positive, cheerful, and future-oriented. You will look for the good in other people and situations. The fourth level of your personality, determined by your expectations, is your attitude. Your attitude will be an outward manifestation or reflection of your values, beliefs, and expectations. You'll have a positive mental attitude toward other people, and they will respond positively toward you. You will be a more cheerful and optimistic person, someone that others want to work with and buy from, sell to, and generally help to be more successful. This is why a positive mental attitude seems to go hand in hand with great success in every walk of life. The fifth ring or level of life is your actions. Your actions on the outside will ultimately be a reflection of your innermost values, beliefs, and expectations on the inside. A positive, optimistic, goal and future-oriented person on the inside will enjoy a happy, successful, and prosperous life on the outside most of the time. You are the very happiest when what you are doing on the outside is congruent with your values on the inside. When you're living in complete alignment with what you consider to be good, right, and true, you will automatically feel happy and positive about yourself and your world. This is why clarifying your values is often the starting point of high achievement and peak performance. Any attempt to live on the outside in a manner that contradicts the values you hold on the inside will cause you stress, negativity, unhappiness, pessimism, and even anger and frustration. Many people work hard on the outside to achieve goals they think they want, only to find at the end of the day that they get no joy or satisfaction from their accomplishments. This occurs when the outer accomplishment is not in harmony with your inner values. Don't let this happen to you. The happiest people in the world today are those living in harmony with their innermost convictions and values. The unhappiest people are those attempting to live incongruent with what they truly value and believe. Self-trust is the foundation of greatness. Living in alignment with your true values is the royal road to self-confidence, self-respect, and personal pride. How can you tell what your values really are? The answer is simple. Whenever you are forced to choose between one behavior and another, you will always act consistent with what is most important and valuable to you at that moment. There are some insightful ways to help you determine your true values. First of all, you can look at your past. How have you behaved under pressure in the past? What choices did you make with your time or money when you were forced to choose? Your answers will give you an indication of your predominant values at that time. What makes you feel important? What raises your self-esteem? What increases your sense of self-respect and personal pride? What have you accomplished in your past life that has given you the greatest sense of pride and satisfaction? These answers will give you good indications of your true values. Many people have had difficult experiences growing up. They have fallen onto hard times and become associated with the wrong people. They have behaved in ways that were illegal or socially unacceptable. Sometimes they've even been convicted and sent to prison for their crimes. But at a certain point in life, they decided to change. They thought seriously about the kind of person they wanted to be known as and thought of in the future. They decided to change their lives by changing the values that they live by. By making these decisions and sticking to them, they changed their lives, and what others have done, you can do as well. Remember, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. All that really matters is where you're going. In psychology, your level of self-esteem determines your level of happiness. Your self-esteem in turn, is determined by your self-image. Your self-image is shaped by yourself. Image is shaped by your self-ideal. Your self-ideal is made up of the virtues, values, goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations that you have for yourself sometime in the future. The more your behavior in the moment is consistent with what you feel your ideal behavior should be, the more you like and respect yourself and the happier you are. The moment you begin walking, talking, and behaving in ways that are consistent with your highest ideals, your self-image improves, your self-esteem increases, and you feel happier about yourself and your world. Your aim should be to deliberately and systematically create the circumstances that raise your self-esteem. In everything you do, you should live your life as though you are already the outstanding person that you intend to be sometime in the future. People who live these values in their work are vastly more successful and more highly esteemed than people who do not. What are your values with regard to your family? Do you believe in the importance of unconditional love, continuous encouragement, positive reinforcement, patience, forgiveness, generosity, warmth, and attentiveness? People who practice these values consistently with the important people in their lives are much happier than people who do not. What are your values with regard to money and financial success? Do you believe in the importance of honesty, industry, thrift, frugality, education, excellent performance, quality, and persistence? People who practice these values are far more successful in their financial lives than those who do not, and far faster as well. What about your health? Do you believe in the importance of self-discipline, self-mastery, self-control with regard to diet, exercise, and rest? Do you set high standards for your levels of health and fitness and then work every day to live up to those standards? People who practice these values live longer, healthier lives than people who do not. Remember, successful, happy people think about their values and how they can live and practice those values in every part of their lives every single day. Perhaps the most important value of all is that of integrity. Once you have decided that you are going to live consistent with a value, your level of integrity determines whether or not you follow through on your commitment. The more you discipline yourself to live consistent with the very best you know, the greater is your level of personal integrity, and the higher your level of integrity, the happier and more powerful you will feel in everything you do. Resolve to tell the truth and to live in truth with yourself and others. Crystallize your values in each area of your life. Write them down, think of how you would behave if you were living consistent with those values, and then refuse to compromise them for any reason. Once you accept complete responsibility for your life and for everything that happens to you, and then create an ideal picture of your perfect future and clarify your values, you're now ready to begin setting clear, specific goals in every area of your life. You are now on the launching ramp and ready to take off toward the stars. Now, here are 3 things you can do immediately to put these ideas into action. First, make a list of your 3 to 5 most important values in life right now. What do you really believe in and stand for? Second, what qualities and values are you best known for today among the people who know you really well? Third, write your own obituary to be read to your friends and family at your funeral, exactly as you would like to be remembered. And think, what one change could you make in your behavior today that would help you to live in greater harmony with your values?